If you only knew the answers of what is a Muslim, I promise you, I guarantee you, Gaza would not have been going through what. What is a Muslim?
I think a Muslim is someone who follows the Sunnah, follows the teachings of the Quran, of the Prophet.
That is what a Muslim does. What is a Muslim? Yeah. What does that mean? Timaha? It's all right. See, the difference between you and your mommy is that she actually read into Australia. You know what that means? She raised her hand and she declared to the world what is an Australian. You didn't. That's exactly the difference between us and Sahabas. Sahabas read themselves into Islam, consciously. We were born into Islam. That's why we never read the Constitution. Your mommy did, had to. Actually passed the test, didn't she? You guys have a test right here. She passed the test. She claimed oath into an identity, okay? So it's easier said than done, of course, but she did say it. So it's a conscious choice to become an Australian. You can't just, not know what an Australian is, okay? Because there's a system around Australia that is going to remind you of it, okay? And you're so used to it that you yourself have become a reminder to anyone who's not an Australian. So I'm just getting you a little sense of what a Muslim is. Make sure you don't forget that, okay? Jisafullah. So what's a Muslim? What is a Muslim? A slave of Allah. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, tell me something, an easier question, okay? Because I know it's a little hard because no one ever asked you this question. What is a Muslim? Okay, and everyone has a different answer. I'll tell you, there's a reason. There's a proper 160 to be exact, years of constant hammering of philosophy. That's why any Muslim that you're going to pick up is going to have 20 seconds of thinking before answering the most simple question. What is a Muslim? Everyone will have relatively different answers, sometimes even opposing answers. If you only knew the answers of what is a Muslim, I promise you, I guarantee you, Gaza would not have been going through what it's going through right now. If only we were all told this simple question when we were 10, 8, 12. So, Safullah, what is the problem Gaza is going through? What is the problem Gaza is going through? Occupation, okay. From here, anybody? A girl? Oppression. Gaza is going through oppression, occupation, injustice, genocide, good word, big word, genocide, the G. Yes. Ethnic cleansing. Whenever I hear Gaza and ethnic cleansing, I think that YouTube has way more effect on us than our own books. Gaza is not an ethnicity. You need to understand that. You see, it's Benjamin Netanyahu who says, Jews and Arabs. It's not Jews and Arabs. It's Jews and Muslims. It's Polish or Arabs. It's German or Arabs. But it's not Jews and Arabs. We're so used to listening to this and we start saying Jews and Arabs are at fight. Jews and Arabs are not at fight. Jews is a totally different word. Arab it's not the same data type, is it? What's the similar data type? The same data type of Jews? Muslims, yes. Jews and Muslims, not Jews and Arabs. So ethnic cleansing actually is one of those words that's going to confuse you more. So genocide, okay, what else? Apartheid. Okay, apartheid, big words. Apartheid, like the South African apartheid. Okay, yes. So if they did not have Masjid al-Aqsa, they would not have gone through that problem? Okay, let me break a little news to you. The third temple is not going to be on Masjid al-Aqsa. Okay? It's about 300 meters south-southeast of Masjid al-Aqsa, or actually the Temple Mount. It is going to be in the, follow Alam of course, in the city of David. Okay? Read, and you'll find out. Masjid al-Aqsa is not what they want. Yes, anyone else? Umar al-Khattab signed the first, signed up the final document was signed up by Umar al-Khattab himself. Okay? Of course, that's the political side of it. The religious side is from Khaybar. Yeah, you're right. Somebody said Khaybar, yeah. That's why they're saying Khaybar was your last chance. Their kids are saying that on the street. You know that, right? Khaybar was your last chance. What do you know? What happened in Khaybar? Not my topic, so I'm not going to go in detail. So what is the problem Gaza is going through? Not genocide, no. No occupation, no nothing. Wrong answers. If any Jew says that to you next time, tell them, you know what, you want to go back to your original land, we can send it to you. Send you to that. That would be Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you do whatever you were doing in Egypt? We still have that Egypt. We still have the pyramids though. That's your original land. But no. No. Yes. Gaza is suffering from you and me. The cancer Gaza is suffering from is called Sahil Adeem. You need to understand, I am the problem Palestinians are going through, not Netanyahu. He is actually a very well-established man in all those 4 pillars that Allah Azza wa Jal told any and every human being to establish. Of course, for a totally different book, but he is doing every single thing. It is it is I who is not doing it, Maha. I'll tell you what those 4 pillars are. That's what the Prophet ﷺ did. And I'll tell you how to do that, but I can't just, break it to you like this, otherwise you're going to go through cognitive dissonance. I've been talking about Gaza as a symptom of our core disease for the last 5 years, and people couldn't really feel it. And now that Gaza is on fire, people are literally, human beings are literally carrying their kids in shopping bags, coming back home. And we're still not feeling the difference between the real meaning of what a Muslim is. Then we have to really start shaking up, waking each other up. Gaza is not going to go through, inshallah, whatever is going through right now, but this has to stay with you so that there is no more Gaza in Australia, Pakistan, Russia, England, America, Brazil, wherever. You need to understand this problem is me. I can't say problem is us, because I have to start with myself. Me and my son Shafi'i, or my daughter Hijab. You need to understand, I need to start understanding where the problem is, and I'll tell you, and I'm going to open my own self in front of you, and I'm going to show you where the problem starts, and how it starts, and how to fix it. I know one thing all of us have in common, one thing all of us have in common, is the fact that we feel like we have zero self-esteem right now. All of us have that. I hope all of us have that. As soon as whatever Israel did on the 9th or 10th of this month, all of us, knowing and seeing all of this, whatever's going on, are going through a lack of self-esteem right now. Because we cannot do anything about it, and our blood is boiling, not for the fact that Israel is doing whatever it's doing, it's because I cannot do anything that I need to do. We need to find out a solution, otherwise we will have no self-esteem, and our kids cannot afford to have fathers with zero self-esteem or mothers with no self-esteem or belief. You know what happens to a child whose parents have zero self-belief or self-confidence, self-esteem? You know what happens to that child? I'll show you. I'm not talking about false confidence of money. Money does not get you self-esteem. I mean, it's common sense. I'm not going to, put a Muslim spin on it. Even non-Muslims know that. Money does not get you self-esteem. Self-esteem is a totally different concept. Let's start with where Allah Azza wa Jal starts with, right? Let's just start with that. And I'm going to break some serious news to you during the middle of a session, which you are going to seriously get mad at me for. Some of you are going to walk out because we just somehow have to have a lot more guts to even understand what Islam is. And I'm not going to say anything against anybody, don't worry. I don't name names because that's against the psychology of human beings. But you will see names, faces in front of you when I'm going to talk to you about whatever went wrong. You will know who did this to you, or to me, to us, to the Palestinians. You will see them because we all are under some sort of a spell of somebody who casted that spell in the name of Islam. Literally was quoting ayahs and ahadith in front of us.